Good morning, Eastsiders. I hope you're ready for Wednesday. Got lots of exciting stuff happening today. Of course, Kingdom Men meets at Venetia at 11:30, and then we have supper at 6, and at 6:45 the teens meet, and at 7 we start working on our Revelation Bible study, and we would love to have you come be a part of that. Please join us. Today we're going to continue looking at John, and we're going to go to the end of the book. Not the whole book. We'll be doing Revelation tonight, but the end of the book of John. After Jesus appears and after Jesus breathes on them and gives them the Holy Spirit in John, we have this little pericope, this little section at the end of the book that some people say might or might not be part of it, but it's definitely the word of the Lord to us today. And I just want to look at two things in John 21. The disciples went out fishing, so they didn't know what to do. And Peter says, I'm going to go fish. And they said, we'll go with you. So they went out fishing, and it was Peter and Thomas and Nathaniel and James and John and two other disciples. So they go out, and Jesus was on the shore while they were out fishing. And he said, have you caught anything? And they said no. And he said, throw your net on the right side. Now, four of them at least, Peter and Andrew and James and John, should have gone, hey, this has happened before, because that's how Jesus started his relationship with them. And they threw their nets, and they couldn't haul the net in because of the fish. And then John goes, hey, it's Jesus. And they did that, and Peter, being the quiet, shy person he was, jumped off and jumped into the water and went to the boat. He didn't walk on the water, which he had already done with Jesus. He went on his own, and he sunk and had to swim, right? And so they towed the boat in and the net in, and Jesus was making breakfast for him. And so there was 153 large fish, and Jesus said, come and have breakfast. So he did. And after that, Jesus approaches Peter. And he does the three questions. Do you love me? And he was saying, do you love me like I love you? And Peter said, I'm your friend. And that happened, and that happened. And then Jesus said, Peter, are you my friend? He said, yeah. And then Peter looks at the beloved disciple who we see as John. And he says, what about him? And here's the point of the story. Jesus says, don't worry about that. You follow me. Ladies and gentlemen, our whole world is going crazy worrying about other people, worrying about whether they're getting fair treatment or we're getting fair treatment, whether things are going right for them or us. And Jesus says, you don't worry about that. You follow me. I'm always going to push for justice. I'm always going to try to represent other people. I'm always going to work with people who don't have people loving them. But my job is not to compare my situation to somebody else's. My job is not to look at Dan Boone or Stephen Furtick or Aaron Horton and say, this is what needs to happen. My job is to follow Jesus. Go out today and follow Jesus.